Hey everyone, it's Coach Callie B with Coordinated Coaching, and today I want to talk directly to coaches. Coaches. Yes, yo. Can I ask you a question? What are you doing in order to grow as a coach? Now, right away, if you were like, man, I coach as a hobby, I got a full-time gig, like I just coach because my daughter plays, okay, you're doing damage. Okay, because I don't know if you see the big picture here, but you are actually impacting a lot of little girls' lives, not just your daughters, okay, or your sons. All right, trying to speak to all coaches here. I tend to go to softball, sorry, because I coach my daughter in softball. So if right away you're like super hesitant and you're like, I have a 40-hour job and coaching is a hobby, bruh, you got to pour some knowledge within yourself, because I really hope that you're not coaching the same way you were 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, if that's how long you've been coaching. I personally have been coaching for 22 years. Literally, before I finished high school, I started coaching within my little league. Okay? Did that, started one-on-one lessons, played college ball, continued to do one-on-one lessons. Okay? And that is something that has been with me throughout my career as an ultrasound tech. Okay? So, if you want to know some things, some good tips to help you, I don't want to say be a better coach, because I'm not trying to be perceived as, oh, I'm the best coach, and that's not what I'm trying to do. So if that's what you're getting, then that's a red flag. You need to do some internal work if you're getting offended by me trying to help you. Bottom line. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of books here, okay? I can honestly say I've read like probably all these books on this shelf, but maybe one or two. The ones on the top, or the next row, are a lot of like, I have career books up there for ultrasound, a lot of health and fitness, how to train athletes. So those are like go-to books. Those ones down here by the softball. I keep doing that. Those are my kids' books. And then up here at the very top, nice little pictures of my sister and I when we're little. But, see if I can do it. Those are books that my husband has put in here. He's a coach too. It's crazy. I know. So if you can't read, listen. Like, plug your phone in, your earbuds, and drive, housework, whatever you need to do. There's no excuse to not be learning more about the impact that you're leaving on these kids. So was it last week? Maybe it was last week. I recommended a couple good books. Oh my gosh, it just went I just went blank. Resilience was one of them. Was it this one? Dare to Lead? Oh, no, but this is a really good one too, by Brene Brown. Hold on, and then I had The Grit book by Angela Duckworth. Okay, so this book has literally surprised me, because I don't know about you, but I see coaches as leaders. And this book will actually break down types of leaders. So does Leader Shift by John Maxwell. And I have came across probably more dictator type leaders that coach from, this is how I'm going to run this program, this is what I'm going to do, and it's super negative, authoritative junk. Like, nothing that they're doing is being added to anybody. It's actually taking away from people. It's actually making people question ever playing a certain sport again. Gosh, when the kid starts feeling that way, then the parents start feeling that way. And you got to know, as a coach, you can't please everybody. And that's the first thing you've got to kind of, like this envelope, you've got to open that. And you got to realize that. You can't please everybody, so own it. And the way you own that is you make sure you stay up on your internal peace, on your happiness within. Because I'm going to tell you right now, how many of you have been coached by a coach who does have that 40-hour work week, and they had a really hard day at work, and then they come coach you and they take their day out on you? No bueno. That's not good. You have to be willing to do your 40-hour work week, just like you expect your athletes to do in between each play, each pitch, whatever, each swing, to reset, refocus. You have to be able to shift those gears. Okay? So if you're a type of coach that feels like you're not getting the respect that you deserve from your players, that's not a shortcoming on their behalf. Something within you, I don't want to say is broken, it's just catching wrong. And your intention in your mind might be awesome and really set well, and you might love these girls, but when things get brought to your attention, you don't take it so well. You ever heard of constructive criticism? It's called constructive for a reason, because it's meant to be given to you to rebuild. It's not destructive criticism. So I feel like some people that take offense to players, to parents, that when it should just be perceived as constructive criticism, it becomes destructive. And by destructive, I don't mean it takes that coach down to where they never want to coach again. That can happen, but it literally takes that coach and feeds a fuel in them of anger and makes them point 10 fingers back at that person like they're the one with the problem. Instead of being quick to react, you've got to take in what the parent said. You've got to self-absorb, write the things down and see, if you agree 100% with what they're saying. At some point, did you honestly do that? Could you have been mistaken for that? Was your body language louder than your words? Were your words louder than your body language? And I mean, as a coach for 22 years, I've probably received a lot of criticism in the aspect of from mentor coaches that I adore. I have a couple older coaches that that coached me, and then I have a couple coaches that coach right now, that coach travel ball, that they're so funny because they'll say, I don't want this to come off wrong and everything, and I'm like, no, just give it to me. I need to know. I have these girls' lives in my life for so many X amount of minutes a day, and that compound factor, I got to make sure I'm building them up. I'm not tearing them down. So tell me, let's go. What do I need to do? You know what I mean? So I'll take what they say, and with my self-reflection, I put it together. And the goal I make for myself is not to be the same. I have to level up. I have to quit hearing the same thing. I have to get better. Does that make sense? So if you've been coaching for a couple of years and you've hit that wall where you've heard the same thing over and 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 over again, not only from your players, but now for the past year from the parents of the players, you are being brought back to this issue over and over again, because I'm just going to be real with you. The good Lord is telling you, hey, this is your opportunity to rise to the occasion, just like you want your athletes to. This is your opportunity to become a better coach. The sad thing is when pride or when ego steps in, coaches don't want to do more. They don't want to learn. My husband is the head coach of a head baseball program, actually 2, okay? And high school and travel ball, and he also is a co-creator of another travel ball team. So you can hear the stories of criticism already popping off in your head. And I literally have sat back, not only as his wife, but now as a mother of one, because he's coaching our boy. He's a sophomore now in high school, our oldest boy. But also as a coach, I sat back and I constantly do this, and I listen and I look. I look to see how people act around my husband when things are going their way, and when things are not going their way. Everybody wants their kid to play, but let's be real. If there is a kid out there that's better, for the team, right? I get it. I'm a mom. I'm also a coach. Like, I totally get it 100%. But I've watched my husband grow extensively to the point where he's had a parent put their finger on his chest. Yeah, and there were witnesses. And I was just like, oh, like, wow. And he just like held it together. That's why coaches make the rule. And if you're not making this rule, you need to add this to your parent contract. And if you don't have a parent contract, you need to make sure you make it up and add this to the contract. But you must ask out of respect for your coaching space and for their kid. If you have a problem with how I coach the game, you do not come up to me after the game and say anything to me about it. You're going to go home and you're going to sleep on it. That's the adult thing, right? We're all adults. Because nothing good comes out of a parent who is emotionally distraught. It's ugly. It literally makes the parent look like a fool. Then the kid gets picked on by the other players. It's not good at all. Okay, so 2 great suggestions. If you're a new coach in the game, or maybe you've been coaching for years and you're feeling like people aren't understanding you, put what your expectations are on paper, and everybody gets one and everybody signs one, and it's understood. So when the day comes when they do approach you, you're like, no. I know, like with when I coached volleyball, 4 years ago, I had a parent approach me, and it was like a big breach of contract. It was like, nope, my head coach came in, because I was the head coach of the freshman team. The head coach of the program came in and was like, you don't talk to her, you come talk to me. If you have a problem, we'll go get the principal. And I was like, hot dog, I love this stuff. So, if you follow me at all on social media, you're going to see that I preach all the time about boundaries. That's a boundary, okay? So, coaches, I can't express to you enough, you've got to do more to help you do more. Does that make sense? If you're co-coaching with somebody, you got to be on the same page. You can't have an athlete go, well, so-and-so coach told me to do it this way, and then get flustered and go, well, you know what? If you're not going to listen, you're going to sit on the bench, or you're going to blah, blah, blah. That does nothing for nobody. And I mean, well, if anything, you just got all angry for no reason. Who's the adult in the situation? Take control of it. It should have never happened, because you and your co-coach should be on the same page. Does that make sense? Your attitude should be, those coaches right there, they make me the coach I am. Because of them, I am who I am. Be grateful, be humble. Don't think you know it all. Don't think you know it all. Be willing to help others out. I don't think I know it all. But 22 years of coaching in, gosh, how many different states? 4, I think. So, yeah, no, 3. No, 4. 4. Forgot. 4 different states. It's like, I've experienced a lot of different ball, and if I didn't evolve with this, oh, I guarantee you my ego would step in, and then I would just crush my own kid. And then I would go crush other people's kids. Does nothing good for nobody. Okay, so coaches, you've got to do personal development. That means read. If you don't have time to read, you better listen to it. Okay, everybody has time to listen. Everybody's in their car driving. Everybody's doing housework. Everybody's doing something where they can pop their earbuds in. Like, we are in the days of listening. Okay, listen, take notes. If there's any online courses to help you be a better coach, take them. Especially if they're free, take them. It's only going to cost you your time. And it's going to pay off in the long run. The big picture, guys. Okay? So personal development is huge. If you can get to a coaching conference, oh my gosh, the studies, I'm a huge fan of the compound factor, like doing a little bit each day. You know, like savings account, like saving $2 a day will add up to whatever, you know what I mean? Big fan of that. But if you can get your booty, and your other coaches, preferably if you have another coach to go with you, to a coaching conference, the impact of something like that is so deep. Like, you will literally be pulling things out of that conference for weeks to come. Okay, so if you can get to that, I know that National Fast Pitch Coaches Association has one. The American Baseball Association has one. I actually went with my husband when they had one in Anaheim, and I went and I sat in when Coastal's head coach was talking when they won the College World Series, and totally blown away. I don't coach baseball, but hey, guess what? I'm a coach. So you dadgum right, I grabbed something out of there. Okay, that's what I mean, is don't shut all your windows off to everything. You know, make sure your relationship with your co-coach and your coaches, like if you have a head JV, a freshman, assistant, blah, 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 you know, all these coaches, make sure your relationship is healthy. A great way to instill that health is to have dinner together or go to these conferences together, read out of the same book. I know for my husband, he actually does like Bible devotions with a set of coaches at his school. So that too is another big one, okay? So personal development is huge, all right? And second, actually this is a third thing, is do not be afraid to get better at something you think you're good at. Does that make sense? Practice what you preach. You've got a really good player on your team. You know that player is going to hit a valley. You're going to hit a valley. Don't get sour. Keep getting better every single day, because these kiddos, you have such a huge impact in these kiddos' lives. Quit thinking it's your way or the highway. Quit thinking that it's your program and things are going to be ran your way. That does nothing but cause nothing but sheer frustration. It robs those athletes of their joy. I mean, the parents, who knows what they're saying about you. So step up to the opportunity of continuing to get better. There's a reason why they have these conferences every year. Great podcasts to listen to. If you don't have an iPhone, listen to Spotify. You can get Apple Music on your Android. You know, Spotify is free. I love listening to the NFCA podcast on there. And then I also listen to some baseball ones. I don't coach baseball, but I'm a coach. So if you continuously keep getting, this is the biggest thing I want you to take away out of this entire video. If you are continuously getting parents saying, hey, I need to talk to you, hey, I need to talk to you, and it's the same thing, hello, I'm going to write it down for you. I'm going to write it down for you. It's going to be backwards. Oh, no, it's going to be right. Level up. Level up. This is your opportunity to be the coach that you were made to be. If you're tired of getting nagged at by parents, do something about it. But don't do negative things about it. Nothing good is going to come out of that. Again, sit down and self-reflect what's going on inside of you. Why are you so egotistic? I'm super passionate about this. You get that. But why is your ego controlling this entire situation? It shouldn't. You are expecting your kids to level up and rise to their occasion, to own every opportunity at bat, to pitch, to play, to shoot, everything. But yet, you're not doing that for yourself. You cannot fill somebody else's cup if yours is empty. It's as simple as that. Read, listen, conferences, dinners. You know, hold your other coaches accountable. Make them better. They'll make you better. It's a beautiful scenario. All right, that's all I'm going to say for today with coordinated coaching. If you have any questions, comments, you want to reach out to me and pick my brain, I'm here. Like I said, I don't know everything. I'm obviously learning daily, right? Learning all the time. And it's just who I am. It's of me to just put it out there. Help other coaches too. I think everybody who coaches, there's good in you. I really do. And I know there have been some tragic coaching stories, but I'm going to oversee that. And I just want to say, you got to know this comes from my heart. This comes from love. I want you guys to be amazing coaches. Thanks for watching. God bless.